Now, let's get to work.
Get to work? I thought we were done.
Oh, no! Our journey's only just begun. For example, have you noticed that all of the rocks in your rock kit are different?
Have you noticed how some are very shiny while others are very rough? Some have lots of color and others don't. These differences are called properties. Geologists can identify different rocks by studying these properties.
You can determine a rock's properties by observing it.
How do you observe a rock?
By looking at it very carefully. Here, this might help.
What color is it? Is it shiny or dull? Notice how the rock feels. Is it smooth or rough? Does it break apart easily or is it very hard?
Geologists usually test rocks to grade their properties. Here, Emily, you take this piece of gypsum. And Nick, here's a piece of quartz for you. Emily, what happens when you scratch it with your fingernail?
It crumbles. Little pieces of the rock fall off.
That's because gypsum is not very hard. Now, Nick, you try it.
Wow, doesn't even leave a mark. Is that because quartz is very hard?
Exactly. In fact, quartz is so hard that you cannot scratch it, even with a nail. Now, watch what happens when we rub the two rocks together.
See how tiny pieces of gypsum are left on the quartz? This shows that the quartz is harder than the gypsum.
Hardness is one of the properties geologists use to identify rocks and minerals. The properties of rocks and minerals tell us what type of mineral we're looking at and how they were formed. In fact, if you observe minerals closely enough, they'll tell you their own story. But first, let's clean up.
Wow. Can you clean my room?
Sorry. Now, let me introduce you to a few of my most interesting friends. You guys ready to meet some new kids?
Sure, absolutely.
My name is Graphite, and I'm soft. And you use me if you run a lot.
My name is Florence, I'm a crystal, you see. I'm so pretty and clear, you can see through me.
Micah's my name, I'm lustrous, you see. I can break and flake into thin sheets.
Wow. I thought you said rocks weren't alive.
Well, they aren't. But when you observe them, they can be interesting.
I'll say.